We are called the Midnight Society. Separately, we're very different. We like different things. We live in different parts of the world, and we have different friends. But one thing draws us together: the dark. Each week, we gather around our virtual fires to share our fears and our strange and scary tales. It's what got us together and what keeps bringing us back. This is a warning for all who join us. You are going to leave the comfortable light and step into the world of the supernatural.
Daddy, please, can I sleep with you tonight?
It's all in your head, little man. Don't worry. Just think about your favorite superhero fighting crime and saving the day until you fall asleep. It'll help, I promise. This is an every night thing that I tell my 6-year-old son, Marcus. Even though he's so young, Marcus is usually a pretty brave kid. Until bedtime. I tell myself it's a phase, a rite of passage, so to speak. He'll get over it soon. I don't think more of it once I close the door to his bedroom at the end of the night. Mornings are always the same. I'm tapping away on my phone, shoveling bacon and eggs in my mouth. My wife, Lissa, sips coffee while trying to get Marcus to eat neatly.
You'd think you'd be less messy at this age, little man,
She says.
I'm sorry, Mommy. I don't feel very good today.
Marcus says softly as he brushes toast crumbs off the school shirt of his uniform.
Oh no, what's wrong, baby?
She asks. She gently put her palm to his forehead and then his cheek.
Ooh, you do feel warm, little man. Did you sleep well? I don't know,
He replied, lightly shrugging his shoulders.
Damon, did he seem okay to you when you tucked him in last night? She asked me.
I look at my wife with a slightly annoyed expression. Babe, he's 6. He's scared of the dark and might have had a nightmare. Don't play into it or he'll never grow out of it. I turn to my son and soften my face. Little man, soon you won't be scared anymore. You just have to keep being brave like your daddy, okay? Marcus barely looks up, but nods. We look towards the window as we hear the familiar hiss of the school bus brakes.
There's the bus. You okay to go to school today?
Marcus shrugs but begins to gather his things. Once Marcus sits in his usual seat and the bus pulls away, Lissa and I walk to her car. We share a quick kiss and she heads to work. I wave as she backs out of the gravel driveway, then I walk up the path to the house. The day goes on as usual. I answer work calls, send emails, and attend virtual meetings. Such is the life of a realtor working from home. I get ready to have lunch when the phone rings. It's the school nurse. He spiked a fever of 101.3 today. He may have what's been going around, but per policy, he'll need to be picked up, she kindly reports. Okay, I'll be there soon. Tell little man to be brave. I grab my keys and get in the car. It's a good thing the school isn't too far since I have more work to do. Lissa came home early after I told her what happened. I knew we should have stayed home from school today, she said, cradling her baby boy in her arms. After dinner, you'll get a bath, some Tylenol, and then right to bed.
Can I sleep with you and Daddy tonight? I don't want to be in my room. The monster will come back.
Marcus gripped his mother tightly as he pleaded. Sure, baby, anything to make you feel better. Lisa hugs him tightly and kisses his forehead. I roll my eyes and put down my now empty glass of whiskey. Lissa, no, he needs to get over this scare of the dark nonsense. He's a big boy, stop babying him. Marcus hugs his Hulk tightly and begins to whimper. Okay, let's get ready. It's dinner time. I usher everyone towards the kitchen.
I'm not hungry,
Marcus says as he pushes food around his plate. I sigh and say, little man, you need to eat to stay strong. Lisa scoffs at me and lovingly rubs his back. Okay, baby, let's get you into a bath. As she gets up, she gives me a wifely glare and mouths, stop it. I take another sip from my fresh drink and wait for my turn during Marcus's bedtime routine. A short time later, Marcus comes to me, freshly bathed and in his superhero PJs.
Daddy, please let me sleep with you tonight. I don't want to be alone in my room. It's gonna get me.
I groan and stand up. Little man, how many times do I have to tell you there's nothing to worry about? You need to stop being scared. Marcus sighs and cuddled his stuffed Hulk. Let's go. It's bedtime. As we walk upstairs, Marcus is squeezing my hand. Hard. Look at how strong you are. I think you're becoming the Hulk too, I say, expecting to get a giggle out of him. There was no giggle, just rapid breathing. When is this fear going to be over, I think to myself. I do our usual bedtime routine. A story, turn on his nightlight, and say our prayers. When that's done, I hand him his Hulk.
Daddy, please don't go.
I kiss him goodnight and close the door. Lissa is already in bed catching up on her shows when I climb in next to her. You should ease up on him. He's just a baby, she says snidely. He's a growing boy. He can't be your little baby forever. He'll get over it with a little help, I respond. She sighs and says, he needs to know that he can count on you when he's scared. Being macho isn't everything. With that, she rolls over and goes to sleep.
Mommy! Daddy! It's here! Help! Daddy!
Damon, it's Marcus! Get up! Lissa is shaking me awake. He's screaming! Let's go! We jump out of bed and rush to our bedroom door. When we open it, Marcus is standing there. His face is calm. He doesn't look scared. He's just standing there. Honey, are you okay? We heard you screaming and we're gonna come check on you. Lissa bends down to examine him.
I'm fine, Mommy. Just had a bad dream, I guess. I'm fine now.
Marcus's face was blank. Can I sleep with you and Daddy? Lissa says as she looks up at me. I quickly interrupt and suggest, how about I stay with you until you're fast asleep?
That's a good idea, Daddy.
He grabs my hand and leads me back to his room. Where's your stuffed Hulk, little man? You usually always have him, I asked.
I don't know, Daddy. I don't think I need it anymore. I'm brave like you now.
His tone was different, slightly eerie. I'm still half asleep walking into his room and bump into the doorframe. All right, little man, back in bed. I begin tucking him into bed and he tells me,
Daddy, check for monsters under my bed.
I look underneath for his amusement and see him, another him, under the bed, staring back at me, quivering and whispering,
Daddy, there's somebody on my bed.
I stare, momentarily frozen by this confusing sight.
Daddy, do you see anything?
Marcus's voice snapped me back to reality and I quickly sit up. I think to myself, maybe I shouldn't have had that last drink. Alcohol and broken sleep are not a good mix. I look at my son. He's grinning at me. I quickly shake it off and reply, No, little man, there's nothing there. Do you want me to find your Hulk? Marcus's expression hardened.
I told you, Daddy. I don't need it anymore,
he said with a harsh tone. Okay. I guess you're starting to grow up.
Yes, Daddy. I'm just like you now.
When he said that, my body felt cold. It didn't take him long to fall asleep. I kissed his fevered forehead and got up to leave. When I closed his door, I stood there for a moment. What did I just see? That couldn't have been real, right? I walk back to my room and climb into bed. Is he okay? Lissa asked sleepily. Yeah, I think the fever is messing with him. He didn't even want his Hulk, I answered. She muttered. Maybe your badgering about bravery is paying off. I roll my eyes and settle into bed, pushing recent events from my mind. Saturday mornings are a little different. There's no busy bustling, just a calm over at home. This morning, however, was different. I woke up with an uneasy feeling, a pit in my stomach. I tried to erase what I saw last night from my thoughts, but they had a hold on me. I didn't get much sleep last night, so I slept in a little bit. I hear Lissa and Marcus already in the kitchen having breakfast, so I walk downstairs to join them. Marcus was scarfing down his breakfast like it was the first meal he'd ever eaten. Morning, little man. Looks like you're feeling better. I pat his head and then place my palm on his forehead. His fever's gone. Marcus slams his hand on the table and screams,
Stop calling me little man!
Marcus, don't speak to your father like that, Lissa says sternly. He shouts at her.
Quiet, Mommy. I'm being a man like he wanted Marcus to be.
Marcus, what's gotten into you? I asked, confused and shocked at his sudden behavior. This was not like Marcus at all. He's usually a very sweet kid. Why was he referring to himself in the third person? Look, I know you had a rough night, but that doesn't excuse your behavior. Do you need to go to your room? Lissa never likes punishing him, so I know she's just as confused as I am.
I don't like Marcus's room. It's boring and full of all of his stuff.
I want my own room.
The voice that crept from the lips of my usually docile son sent chills down my spine. I think back to last night. One Marcus on the bed, seemingly a bit different, and the whiskey-induced hallucination of Marcus under the bed, scared, holding his treasured stuffed Hulk.
Marcus, go to your room. Now!
My harsh tone doesn't faze him. He stands up and glares at me.
My name is not Marcus. Is it, Mommy? You should have taken better care of me.
His voice was low and grim. The look he gave his mother made her freeze.
Well, what's her name then?
I asked, growing increasingly annoyed and concerned. He looked at both of us, his eyes dark and terrible. With a slanted grin, he walks to the staircase. He turns to us and says,
My name is Malcolm.
He walks up the stairs and stomps each step. We hear muffled commotion coming from his bedroom. Lissa slowly sits down, her face blank and pale. I let out a deep sigh.
Babe, I've got to tell you what happened last night.
Honey, there's something you need to know. Lissa looks up with an expression that worries me.
What is it?
I asked nervously. Well, when we found out we were pregnant, I never told you because I wanted to surprise you. It was twins. I lost one of the babies, and his name was going to be Malcolm.